Hey everyone! So, first of all, I want to make it very clear that I love every single one of you who are watching this video right now. That being said, some of y'all have absolutely no chill, especially when it comes to social media and especially when it comes to memes. And the current meme that I am seeing all over the place, that frankly should have died a week or so ago, is the Be His Peace one. You know, the one where someone says, "Girl, you should be his peace," and the reaction is some photo of usually a black woman rolling her eyes or making some kind of face or setting a car on fire, whatever have you. And I honestly do not understand why this is a conversation in 2018, but let's address it. So, should you be a man's peace? Absolutely. The same way he should be yours, because relationships are reciprocal. And if God has put a man into your life, he is supposed to cherish you and respect you and support you. And you are supposed to do the same for him. That is what marriage is. It is when God puts two people together so that those two people can take care of each other and cherish each other. So, yes, we are supposed to be peace for the men in our life. And yes, they are absolutely supposed to do that for us as well. And I want to talk a little bit about what it means to be someone's peace. Being someone's peace is not being their problem. Let me repeat that. Being someone's peace is not being their problem. And that may sound incredibly obvious, but this is one of the reasons why when I work with my clients, we spend a lot of time dealing with those past issues, those bad relationship patterns that have developed over the years, and learning how to forgive and learning how to overcome past hurt. Because what you don't want to do is enter into a relationship full of baggage that is going to become someone else's problem. And don't get me wrong, when you attract the right partner, that person is going to want to do what they can to help you heal from your hurts. They are going to do their best to be a comfort for you. That being said, you do not want to make someone else's bad behaviors your future husband's problem. You do not want to be in a space where you have a man who is wanting to cherish you, who is wanting to care for you and wanting to take care of you, but you can't let your guard down with him so that he can take care of you. And the reason why you can't let your guard down is because you've been burnt so many times in the past. That is not a position that you want to find yourself in. That is not fair to you because it doesn't allow you to be cherished the way that you're meant to be cherished. And it's not fair to him either. It is really not fair to a man to not be able to care for you because you're too busy still hurting from what another man did in the past. And really, why would you do that? That doesn't even make any sense. You go to God and you pray, "Lord, let me find a godly man. Let me find a good husband. Let me find someone who's going to cherish me." And God sends that man. And you look at this man and you look at God and you're like, "Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. Instead of allowing myself to be cherished the way that I'm supposed to be, I am just going to stay over here, stuck in my past, and I'm just going to focus on all the bad things that happened to me 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and I'm not going to embrace this great future that you laid out in front of me." Do you really want to tell God that? Is that the sign that you want to give off? So another thing when it comes to being someone's peace is being their support. It is knowing that this person has your back and that you have theirs. It is knowing that when the two of you are in relationship together, over time, the two of you are going to grow and your priorities may change over time. Some of your goals and dreams may change over time, but it's knowing that you will allow that person to grow. That person will allow you to grow, and that the two of you will support each other in that growth. My fiance and I have been together for 2.5 years at this point, and one of the most amazing things to me is the personal journey that I went on and how I know a lot of the changes that I made were very hard on him, but he was still always there to encourage me, even when he didn't understand certain things that I was doing. And he has gone on his own journey, and he has developed, and he's become such a better man in the past 2 years. And when I see his growth, I am so proud of it. But at the same time, there's also that little tinge of sometimes when you see someone growing and they're making all these changes and things are just different in your relationship, you feel a little bit off by it. But it's knowing that you can stand in that, knowing that God has that relationship and that it is a cherished one, and that you can support their growth. So again, being someone's peace is not being their problem. It is being their support, and it is also knowing how to be their comfort, because the comfort part, it comes in so many different ways. It is being there for a hug when it's needed, physical comfort, but it's also the sense of knowing that you don't have to do everything alone. I have done a few social media posts about this recently, about women, especially Black women, and this whole idea of having to be superwoman and having to take care of everything. There is something that is just undescribably amazing about having a partner who supports you and who is willing to just let you rest sometimes, who is there to say, hey, you don't have to do everything alone. I am here for you, and I'm willing to come in and cherish you, and I'm here to let you know that it's okay to not do everything perfectly. It's okay to fail sometimes, and it is okay to say, hey, I need help, and to know that that person is going to come in and give you that help. And it's also knowing that you are going to do that for that person as well, that the way that they allow you to rest when you are having those low days, that you are going to be there for them. And I really want to emphasize that point, because I help women who want to attract their husbands. And one of the things that I always look out for in clients is I want to make sure that you're ready for more than just the ring. Because a lot of women are ready for the ring. But are you also ready for the responsibility? Are you also ready to have someone who is looking to you for support and for comfort and for rest when they need it? Especially as women, because we are naturally nurturing, we are naturally healers, and because we go through so much, it is easy for us to understand when someone else needs help, when someone else needs a little bit of rest. And because we know that everyone goes through it, we can also sometimes put ourselves in the position of being like, hey, I need help too, without necessarily feeling guilty about it. Men are a little bit different in that, especially in our society, men are taught that they have to be strong, that they have to always, carry the mantle, and that they can't show any weakness, they can't show any vulnerability. So for a man to be able to come to you and say, hey, I need some rest sometimes as well, that is nothing to be taken lightly. That is a major responsibility. And when you are able to do that, he is going to show so much more appreciation for your relationship. And it's just this never-ending cycle of goodness when you're able to be there for him, and in return he was already willing to cherish you and to make you his wife and to care for you and support you. But now he's even more motivated to do it because he knows that you're there as well to do the same thing for him. So that's what being someone's peace is. Before I let you go, I want to talk to you about what being someone's peace is not. Being someone's peace is not taking all of their crap all the time. Being someone's peace is not having any boundaries whatsoever. Being someone's peace is not allowing yourself to be abused. There is always balance, and I don't want you to ever hear this concept of being someone's peace and think that you need to be a doormat, that you need to be quiet, never voice your opinion, because that couldn't be further from the truth. it does mean that you have to be there to support someone. It does mean that from time to time, you're going to have to hold your tongue and know that this is a battle not worth fighting today. But it absolutely does not mean that you're not allowed to have opinions. Some of the women in the Bible that we give the most praise to, Sarah, for example, Esther, Abigail, who is David's third wife, these women were outspoken women. These women are nothing like the false idea of submission that we hear all the time, that a woman is supposed to be meek and mild and never say anything. These were women who were vocal, who had opinions, who weren't afraid to speak up, but at the same time, they always had their husband's back. That is the difference.